and and they know, 'cause we go all in, and they know, 'cause we go all in.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are now listening to the All Dressed Up podcast with your boy K Dizzle DC and my man right here,
Half
Hef
stream.
Streams. What up, Hef?
What up, K? How you feeling, babe?
What's going on, my guy? What is the word, man? It's a lot going on this week.
It's a lot. It's been a busy week, man.
Super busy week. We're now on to episode 33. Shout out to all those who are here, all those who always make it. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We need to get rolling because there's so much going on that it's hard. We're gonna be able to compress it within the hour. But man, oh man.
Look, before we get started, right? Before we get started, put the number up early. Put the number up early. So what up, 410? So everybody can know where to text so they can join the conversation tonight because we're gonna bounce around tonight. We're gonna keep it live. We're gonna do it a little bit different. But before we get into episode 33, please like, share, subscribe, follow. We are on all platforms. We're on Spotify, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. Please like, share, and subscribe now because I might get a little loose by like 30 minutes in.
Oh man, you mean 30 seconds?
Let's
30
go,
minutes, 30 seconds, my guy. Hey, start where you want to start because I know it's going to be lit. Look, we know we're a little late tonight. It's a couple things going on, but we ain't going to go into that. But what we are going to get into is this conversation. Don't do that under the table, man. Bring that up.
Nah, it's all good. Look, so before we get into what I want to talk about, I wanted to ask you a question, Kate.
Go ahead.
What is loyalty to you?
What is loyalty to me? Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute.
You ain't got to take it too deep, but what's loyalty to you on the surface?
Loyalty, you know what? I don't have. There's a difference between loyalty and there's a difference between respect. The only thing I'm loyal to is my family and kids and making sure that they're protected. Everything else is respect. Everything else is respect. I mean, that is a super tough question. What loyalty is?
I like where you were taking your answer though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think sometimes you can be what's the word I want to use? I think you might be able to be too loyal in some situations. And I feel like, you know, what I want to talk about before we get into the show really is, you know, I've had a lot of friends and family around me over the years. And, you know, one thing I pride myself to be is very loyal to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who knows me knows that, like, if I got it, you got it. If you got that type of relationship with me, I got an open door.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it's only so much disrespect that I'm gonna take.
Mm-hmm.
And that from here moving out and moving forward, if you're not gonna be in my corner, if you're not gonna support me, my girl, or my child, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Fair.
So whoever that message goes to, if you feel like it applies to you, please take it serious.
Man, oh man, look. Let me define the words. So because you get into these words, let me define them, make sure. Giving or showing firm and constant support or allegiance to a person or institution. That sounds like a level of friendship to me. So I mean, you always got to be on guard on who you keep around you. Nothing else matters at that point. My family over everything. I respect that 100%. Systematic Theo came with the absolute. Look, it's just know where your friendships lie. Know which ones make sense and which ones don't. If they don't make sense, don't keep them.
What baffles me is like, you know, I tend to walk a certain way and carry myself a certain way, Kate does. And it's like if I don't imagine myself to do it to you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't imagine you to do it to me. And once you cross that line and once you do certain shit to me, man, it's hard at this point at 35 years old with where I'm trying to take my life for me to accept it. So, I'm not gonna keep on this negative vibe. We're gonna lighten the mood, but
Ain't no negative vibe, man.
I
You
just
doing your
wanted
rant
to,
early.
yeah, I just wanted to get it off early. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Get your rant off early, man. Let us let us dive a little lighter into these sports, man. How you Redskins doing today?
All
It's
right,
been a
so we doing
while.
sports first, right?
It's been a while
Go
since my
ahead, talk
Eagles
your
won,
shit.
so I'm gonna talk my shit. How them
Did
skins
y'all win
doing today?
today?
Yeah, we did. We won. We beat Carolina Panthers, man.
Get the fuck out of
In
here.
a
So y'all
barn
beat
burner.
Carolina today.
Yeah, we beat Carolina minus
So
Christian
y'all are
McCaffrey.
2-3.
Carolina 2-3, sir.
Same
2-3.
record as the Washington football team.
Same record as Washington.
Because the Washington football team is trash. If you haven't noticed, I will not be wearing any Washington apparel. I'm either going to be wearing all dressed up podcast apparel or my Lakers shit for the rest of the season. I can't support the Washington football team and how they're trotting out this defense. And I'm watching like these washed up players like Landon Collins and
He
shit
naming
from the
names.
Giants. You know what I'm saying? Getting
He naming
burnt
names.
toast out there, barbecue chicken. Like I'm talking about, he's jogging 10 yards behind a wide receiver as he's crossing the end zone. So obviously Washington lost today. Philly won. Shout out to your bum ass Eagles.
Love you, bro. Thanks for
But what about your boy Tom Brady, man? Let's talk about the GOAT. This
this
is like if we
motherfucker
had one of
scores
those
six.
soundboards, I would hit the button where you hear the little cheers and applause in the
This
background.
motherfucker scores 62 fantasy points. I could punch that motherfucker in the throat.
Man, this dude is breaking records at 44. It was the first time he threw, I believe the record was 5 touchdowns and 400 yards. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was stupid.
In the same game, man, I'm talking about what a performance at the twilight of this guy's career. He can probably play until 50. But did you see who won the Super Bowl today?
Huh? Who won the
Did you?
Super Bowl?
The Cowboys won the Super Bowl today.
Oh, what are you talking about? They beat the Giants?
Oh, it wasn't a Super Bowl.
It wasn't the Super Bowl.
Oh shit! When I watched the game when it was over, man, I saw Dak taking pictures on the sideline. They were high fiving, running around, jumping up and down. Jerry
What?
Jones in the booth passing the expensive champagne. I thought it was a damn Super Bowl. I called my man the roots for the Cowboys and I said, "What happened?" They said, "Oh, we beat the Giants." I said, "Okay."
They 4-1. They ain't been 4-1 in a while.
Hey man,
So
I can't hate on them.
kudos to them. They doing
And
well.
the Chiefs are playing the Bills right now. I think the Bills are definitely a Super Bowl team.
The Bills are title bound. Close to be title bound. They're in the red zone right now. Oh shit.
So before we
Okay.
go into NBA, let's talk
They
about
got the
what your
title.
boy. Let's talk about what your boy did.
Who?
First off, Urban Meyer, the college phenomenon coach
It's
of
been a
all
long week.
time, got busted last week for hanging out with the young girls and the young guys at the college bars and groping up the ladies and taking pictures. I don't know how you feel about that. I think Urban Meyer deserves to be able to party if he wants to, but not when your Jaguars are getting their ass whooped like the way they've been getting their ass whooped. This is not college, sir.
Bro, you just put yourself in that position. I can't, when you think you're untouchable, you think you're untouchable. That's just what it is. You're in a well-lit bar. You're in a well-lit bar,
Everybody in
slightly
there got
inebriated,
a 12
okay?
Pro, a
And you let
13 Pro.
some random woman grind up on you in a well-lit bar. You're a married man. You're in public. Secondly, you're a football coach. Okay, you're an NFL coach. You're no longer college ranked. You're no longer any of that stuff. You have to do what you're supposed to. Protect yourself at all times. It's like you're boxing. Protect yourself at all times. It's
So
what it
before
is, man.
don't even bring up the boxing yet because we're gonna get there.
No, we ain't gonna bring the boxing, but I do
But
want to bring up, since we're streaming tonight on the good Twitch, the damn leaks that just dropped showing. Look, if you are not creating content
yeah,
right now, you have this next until the end of this decade probably to get your ass together and generate some passive income, because the list on these people making money, okay, making money monthly, okay. Woo!
but did you hear what one of the guys said though?
What?
He said that shit was light. He said they make more money than that.
That was super light, bro.
He said that was
Super
just
light.
off of subs and ads. He said that's not off of contracts,
Super light.
donations. all the other
No,
avenues of where
off
they
of,
make money.
yeah, off of bits,
And you
all
know
that.
better than I do.
Hold on, bro. Let me share this. Look, you need to be creating content right now. I don't care if you're 65, you're 25, you're 15. You need to be creating content right now.
Absolutely.
And this is why. Hold on. Let me get this thing here. This is why. Let me share this screen really quick. No thanks. I don't want to do that. And I'm going to zoom in on this SOB. Okay. This is just 2019 to 21. This is just a short list. Let me pull this up. It's like 7,000 ads on this page. Okay. Close this ad. God damn. All right. Twitch streamer total payout from August 2019 to October 2021. Okay. That's 2 years. You see that 10 million critical role? Oh shoot. There it is. Critical role. You see this?
Hmm.
These people are making 2.5 million, 1.5 a year, just creating content, playing video games. Okay, these are I mean $1 million a year playing video games. This is the stuff that we grew up wanting to do. We thought was imaginary. It is hard to grow at this time and age. Everybody does want to be a streamer. You're absolutely correct. That does not mean there is not a lane for you somewhere, somehow. Somebody will watch your stuff.
Hey, what if
All you
Burger
have
King
to
would have
do,
quit because McDonald's existed?
all you have to do is keep doing it. Marcus Brownlee, perfect example. MK, if you go on the internet, if you're looking up tech reviews, if you look up Marcus Brownlee, this dude's been doing it since he was freaking 13 years old on YouTube. Yes, different times. He was there in the beginning. But if you keep doing it consistently, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, it's going to pay off. You're going to generate some passive income and you're going to become independently wealthy and not have to give your time to people. Get out there and get your money, man. I'm telling you, create some content. Do like we do. We over here talking shit and we love it. But
We
keep
talking
at it,
shit for
keep
free.
going, man.
But
Talking for
look,
free.
so look, John Gruden emails from 2011 surfaced, and everybody knows John Gruden, aka Chucky, the coach that went into the booth for a while, started to talk like he was like a guru, got back into coaching the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, anyway, he had some texts come out talking about DeMaurice Smith, who was at the time the head of the NFLPA,
Mm-hmm.
and he referred to his lips being the size of Michelin tires. Um, that was in the text message in 2011. He then came out and responded by saying he does not have a racist bone in his body. I don't know if science has found the racist bone yet, but he says he does not possess it. And he basically said he referred to liars as having rubber lips. So, what you think?
I think John Gruden, okay, I'm not taking anything from him. I think he's I think he's a good, I won't say he's a great football coach. I say he's a good football coach. Because remember, what is John Gruden known for? Taking the Tampa Bay Bucks to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he was in a great place at a great time because Tony Dungy built that team and then they fired him. And the following year, they went to the Super Bowl and won.
Mm,
Do you not remember that?
I remember that.
Okay.
I do.
What did they do after that? Being racist isn't the same as saying something. Right?
What up, Mark?
Oh, that's very well said. So I think John Gruden is a good coach. He was a subpar announcer when he now when he did games. He just was, and I think his aura is more than what it is. I think his legend status is kind of clouded to me. But look, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. Who has that text message from 2011? Who has text
Hey
message?
man, they went through it. They were going through some texts that were sent to Bruce Allen, who used to be the GM of the Washington Redskins a couple of years ago. What up, Bianca?
Something.
And that came out. But look, at the end of the day, my opinion is, he's got to coach 53 men. About 75% of those 53 men could have taken offense to that text message. So it's going to be up to him to make it right with those guys in the locker room. And if they move past it by now, good for them. But definitely wanted to talk about that. But let's talk about the NBA before we go on to the fight of the decade, right?
Oof.
So with the NBA, right? When I hear about an insurance scam and they locked up 18 players, I start to think before I even ask about what happened, what the scam was. I heard 18 retired NBA players got arrested. So automatically, I'm thinking Big Baby. I'm like Big Baby. That I guarantee you his hot ass was caught up in the conglomerate, and sure enough, he was. Uh, with players like Sebastian Telfair and some others, they were caught up in some health insurance scam that got these people looking at some serious time.
Doesn't this sound like the Clinton Porter situation?
What Clinton Porter situation?
Remember Clinton Portis got arrested for defrauding the healthcare of
Did he?
NFL? Yes,
I didn't know that.
he went to jail. He was being tried for that Clinton Porter
Hmm.
situation. They defrauded the healthcare system or the health plan or whatever it is. Yo, I just wish that people had better people around them to help manage their money, so they
No
wouldn't have to
doubt.
do no nonsense like that. It sounds like it's something that's been happening for a long time. They didn't piss somebody off and somebody told on them.
Somebody
Period.
didn't get
Point blank.
paid. Somebody
Somebody
didn't
didn't
get
get
taken
paid.
clear.
Somebody didn't get hands greased, and now you caught up. 18 of y'all, idiots, idiots. You done play. You done did all this your entire life. You done worked so hard to get there. You done played the game. You retired, and you decided to defraud the same people that paid you.
And about 15 of those
Kick
18 are broke.
rocks. Kick rocks. There's no one else to blame. Kick rocks. There's better ways to do it. Better
So
ways to do
look,
it.
so on a positive note, let's talk about my man LeBron James becoming the first
Please,
athlete with over 100 million Instagram followers.
please don't bring Mark Nebo's in the room. Please don't bring up LeBron James
Nah,
or
man.
Mark Nebo in the room because he instigated literally he instigated a Jordan James fight on my timeline once again about
We're
who's the
not going
greatest.
there tonight. We're not
I'm
going
not
there.
going
We're not going to even talk about
talking
Michael Jordan tonight. We're talking about LeBron
about LeBron James.
becoming the first athlete with over 100 million followers. That is more than the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball combined. So shout
Congrats.
out to your boy LeBron James. Again, he proves to
Congrats,
be the
man.
GOAT. He's trailblazing. He's going to be chasing another championship this year. I will be looking forward to the season. I think they're playing Phoenix tonight in the preseason. But to finish out sports before we bounce on to the next topic, who had the opportunity last night to watch the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder third part of their epic trilogy? Raise your hands, text in, comment, give us a holler. Who watched the fight last night? Because I did.
I only saw the snippets. Brother worked too
You
much. I
ain't
only
get to
saw the
see it.
snippets. I
Oh
didn't get
man.
to
So
see it.
look. So for those who had the opportunity to watch this fight, I want to say respect to both fighters. They provided an epic heavyweight battle. I don't think anybody bet that the fight would have went 11 rounds like it did.
Mm.
Um, I mean, it was constant punishment for all 11 rounds. I mean, these guys went in, and Deontay Wilder deserves all the respect because even though he didn't take a win home in this trilogy, he will be remembered for being a knockout artist and probably having some of the biggest heart displayed in heavyweight boxing history.
Did he knock him down though?
He knocked him down twice.
He knocked Fury down twice.
He knocked Fury down twice. This wasn't the first time he's knocked Fury down in the
Right,
trilogy. He's knocked him down before, but Fury just keeps getting up, man, and
right,
that's why
right.
I gotta respect that big dude too.
Without a doubt.
There were a lot of jokes, a lot of memes going around, but if you kind of step back and look at what these guys did, he was a first place loser. But nah, but you gotta respect that guy because he took some serious punishment and he
Hmm.
didn't quit. He did not quit. And to see him go out, and he always said before, like he always believed he would be carried out on a shield like a warrior, and I think he definitely did that. So I hope that they can, put this trilogy up on a shelf and say like, Tyson Fury was the better fighter, but definitely respected Deontay Wilder for the heart that he displayed.
He met his match. Deontay was on
They,
top
they
for a
say
very long
everybody will
time.
meet their match, man. Everybody
Everybody he's
does.
on it for a very long time. He was undefeated, and it was for me. It was always it. it was always when he finds somebody that can really fight, he's going to be in trouble because it's not the way you fall, it's the way you get up 100%. Because if you look at all of his fights, he relied on that one punch knockout so hard that you kind of missed the other part of the boxing skills to it. And
It's
it got
hard.
him.
It's hard to go there when all 27 of your previous fights you knock people out with that one
I
punch.
I I get it. It's almost like the Mike Tyson syndrome. You know what I'm saying? You get in the ring, you know you're gonna knock them out, and when you don't knock him out, life changes at that moment. So
Yeah,
he was
when you
he
hit
was
somebody with your best shot, and
yeah,
they
yeah.
eat that junk. It's
He was the new age. Wilder's the new age Tyson. I give him that without all the craziness, without all the other stuff that the 80s and 90s brought in cocaine. But he was the new age Tyson. New age Tyson. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Tyson Fury for just solidifying who he is and what he's capable of.
no doubt.
And he's fighting Joshua next, right?
Nah,
No, he's gonna fight Joshua.
Joshua just took a loss.
Joshua's
He's
washed,
going to
man.
be fighting a fellow Brit.
He
He's going to
did
be
get his
staying
ass
at
whooped.
home. He's fighting across the pond. I forgot what the guy's name is, but it'll be a fight just for him to celebrate. Not have to train as hard as he's probably trained for Deontay Wilder. So I think this would be like a not a setup win for him, but an
Hmm.
easier fight. And then they'll probably fight somebody big time in like 18 months.
It's that, like you said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. 100%.
So
hundred
look,
percent.
so that's sports, right? Let's talk about music, man. Let's talk about the state of hip hop.
Wait a minute. So one of the things that me and have talked about the show all the time, and we always try to figure out certain things that we love to incorporate into it and share with you guys, and not take away from our deep dives. But one of the things we said we were going to do as quick hits was give you our sleeper hit for the week. Sleeper hit for the week, some music you probably never heard before that you need to go check out and listen to. Unfortunately, the way YouTube and everybody else is set up, if we play a lot of the stuff, if we play a lot of it, we're gonna get cancel culture drops in real quick, like episode 33 is conveniently labeled cancel culture activated. But we want to share those tracks with you. Hey, give me the what's your track that you want to share?
What you
'Cause
just
we're
want me to
gonna
tell you
do
the
it.
track?
Yes.
I sent it to you, but I've been feeling my man Masego a lot lately, on the jazz R&B tip.
Oh, you
Uh,
switched it up on me.
what you mean?
Okay, you did. No. You know what? You sent me two Masego.
Yeah, which one you gonna play, man?
Huh? You want the Masego Don Tolliver joint.
Exactly. So he teamed up with Don Toliver on this track. It's definitely a smooth joint. Go ahead and play about a good 8 seconds for the
Can
people.
we play 8 seconds?
Yeah, you good.
We can play 8 seconds. All right, we're gonna play 8 seconds, and then they're gonna cancel us ASAP. I don't know how it's gonna come out. So that's 22 seconds. I should have played some of the other parts of it.
Yeah, but either way, check it out.
Either way, check it out. Mystery Lady by Masego and Don Toliver.
But I think you can play it on YouTube though.
You can play
the
it on YouTube.
version.
Huh?
You can play the YouTube version.
Thinking I can make as many songs early when I had a better, but she only hit it on one better. If I say I love her, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I overzealous? But I know the feeling, and I'm never wrong.
Lyrics on this
All
track,
right.
Bianca.
I don't want to go. I want to do more than that. I don't want to do more than that because they're gonna cut us the hell off. All right, so mine is
Check out your boy Masego in your free time. Definitely.
check out Masego. If you ain't listening to Masego, I don't know
Got
who
a
you are, what
vibe.
you're doing with your life. Get your life together. Let me heart that real quick. Add that to my list. My track is going to be about a young kid who did that one track during, I think came out 2020. I Just Want to Live, Keydron Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
and he dropped a banger. It's called "Hello" by Keydron Bryant. Let me back that up. Pay 10 seconds of that.
My wife be in my dreams, bruh.
That's still Masego. Hold on.
I walk up to you and say, what's your name? Pretty lady. just shake it up and say, ooh, by the way, tell your mom and daddy I said thanks.
Okay. Keetron Bryant. He is
Okay.
different. He is different. Don Toliver is like that. But check those two out. Masego and Don Toliver. It's called Mystery Lady. And then Keetron Bryant. Hello. Get your
I
life
like
together.
that. I
Listen to
like that, K
Kevin
Dizzle. I
Gamble.
like how he putting the people down to some shit that they need to
Put him
listen
down
to.
to it, bro. Put him down to it.
Outside of what we're about to be talking about when it comes to hip hop and the state of music right now. So I had I wanted to ask the chat and everybody else who's watching YouTube. My man Meek Mill finally dropped out of nowhere with really no promo, right? And
Right.
I've always thought Meek Mill was one of those guys who can rap well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna really get into his whole career and break him down, but do you think him coming out dropping his album with no promo and selling 80K in the first week, do you think he flopped?
No. But I think it just proved to him that he's not Nas or Beyonce. He's not on that upper echelon where he can do that and be uber successful. He still requires some work because Meek Mill is in that middle stage where he's not with the youth and he's not with the older crew. He's not with the upper echelon and he's not with the youth. He's that middle ground. That's like David Banner dropping an album right now, right?
A lot of Meek Mill fans are probably at work not even having a clue that he put out an album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Savage said Meek's not nice enough
You're
for
not
no
nice
promo.
enough for no promo.
That's because his fan base is probably like my age at this point. We was in a club like 8 years ago, you
Eight,
know,
10 years ago.
and now
So
we got to go to work and be taking our babies to daycare and shit. Like we're not checking for Meek Mill, and then all
no,
of a sudden he pops up. So I actually just stumbled into the album. Let me keep it real with you.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
played it. I think I was putting together a TV stand. So conveniently, I had an opportunity. Conveniently, I had the opportunity to fucking listen to the Meek Mill album. And like after a while, I was like, okay, I hear you, Meek.
Yeah, I was
And
changing my
then
shower curtains and just it was on the
yeah,
it
Erica. But then
came
what,
on.
what fucked me up was I started hearing him. I thought he was making music trying to sound like current artists. Like I heard a track when he was singing on it, and if I didn't look,
Oh,
I would have thought it was Dirk.
I haven't, you know what? I have to be honest, I haven't heard it yet. That's how bad it is.
But
I
that's what I
heard it
was gonna
came out.
ask you. Do you
I had
think?
nobody's running to listen to Meek Mill. Like I said, Meek Mill not nice enough for no promo.
But do
And
you think?
Dreams and Nightmares, yes, Dreams and Nightmares was is a classic. Everybody has one or two classics, which is why their name is still
But let me ask y'all a
semi-relevant.
question. But let me ask everybody a question. Do you think some of those artists who are falling off, and he knows it, when an artist like Meek Mill sells 80K, and you got people like Savage, who's a hip hop head, saying not interested, he knows he's falling off. He knows he's in the corner. He on the ropes and shit. So do you think at this point it's acceptable for him to try to copy current artists who's successful
He
and
can
try
do
to
whatever.
sound like them? Or
Look,
do you think older artists should be able to try to change their shit up and sound like the younger artists?
do whatever you feel is right. Don't do it because it's popular. If you do it what's right, then it comes out best. If you do what's popular, then people feel that and usually don't get into it. Plain and simple. You know when somebody steps out of their lane and it doesn't feel right, you're like, I'm not really not feeling that song. One guy who I will say is 100% a master at doing what it feels right and being able to step out in his own way is Snoop. Period. Snoop has done so many
That's a good
different
point.
areas, genres. He's done the singing, he's done the rapping, he's done the gospel, and all of it for the most part is tough. There's, you got your favorite 80s joints from Snoop, you got your favorite, sensual seduction. You got all the different stuff from him, but not everybody can do that.
Yeah, Snoop's a unicorn. You
Snoop's a
understand?
unicorn. Is 100% unicorn. So yeah, nobody's running out to hear Meek Mill.
All right, so let's
Nobody's
go to
running out to
my
hear him.
next point. So let's go to my next point. I'm gonna ask you and everybody else. Do you think if people had to still go out and purchase albums and records, that certain artists like NBA YoungBoy would be this popular because, in my opinion, with the new DSP services, like this NBA YoungBoy craze is phenomenal. Like I don't want to hate on the young man. Unfortunately, he's
Hmm.
incarcerated right now, but the amount of streams that he's getting are out of this world.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the gatekeeper of rap, but I'm not a young boy, listener. I'm 35. I don't really think there are a lot of people my age really listening to young boy.
Nope.
And my thing is this almost the same product of handing the kids the iPad that this young man is getting so many streams because I think his fan base's average age is like 12.
I can't tell you
So like
because
just imagine like these parents giving their 12 and 14-year-olds their iPads and their iPhones and they're streaming music and all they're doing is listening to Young Boy in rotation, right?
mhm,
He's still at that point technically selling records.
there's two things. There's two things. One, the song is 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Genius.
Two, two, it's such a everything is everything is quick and it's cliche. That goes with the two. I don't know. I honestly I had to listen to what's the joint with Lil Baby and Lil Durk that they did
Voice
with
and the
DJ Khaled.
hero.
Yeah, the joint they did with DJ Khaled. I
Okay.
had to literally because I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have a hand in this game because I couldn't tell. I had to go back and listen to that song like 3 times to tell the difference between Lil Baby and Lil Durk. So
That's because you don't listen to Little Baby.
I don't listen. No, I don't listen to them cats. So I can't say I probably heard something, but I don't know. It's so far. I'm so far off. I'm so far off of them cats. It's NBA, YBN.
But the point is, bro, is what I'm saying is that this guy is selling more records
Mhm.
than 90% of the other artists out there. And I can't tell you two songs by the guy. And
No,
I'm not saying that means anything because I can't. But I guarantee you that our chat can't either. And I'm not hating on him, but I'm just saying, like, damn. So all I'm saying is like I think because you don't have to go out and purchase records in the store, I think
mhm.
today's games streaming and you know how it's like kind of counted up is probably not as accurate because I guarantee you had that kid who's 12 years old who wants the Young Boy album back then, he wouldn't have got it.
No. I look, man. No, no. It's a different time. You can't equate one with the other because it's just way different. The access is different. People, you can get right to it. Anybody can get to it in the universe by the click of a button. So, you know, shout out to NBA boy. He's getting his paper. I don't know who's listening to him. It's just not my cup of tea.
All right,
I
look.
probably heard a song.
All
I
right,
ain't
look,
never
old
listened to it. I
man.
can't tell
Look.
you. I am old. Fuck it.
So before we leave hip hop and music, I threw out a conversation piece earlier, and I was talking to my girl about it. And I'm not gonna pinpoint any female artists right now, but I threw out a question on Instagram yesterday. And I was like, I always knew that sex sold in music. And with Lil Kim and certain artists back in the day, they always had that sex side that sold as well. But in my opinion, I think that their artistry was first and the sex appeal was second.
Hmm.
So, and when I look at all these female artists now, like I'm happy for them. I really want them to succeed. But I was just asking the question, like when I see them perform live, most of their sets come off to be like the main female artist has like a better outfit than the other 12 girls who's behind them. And they're all doing the same routine, like twerking and shit. And it's more of a dance than their actual music and their actual rap. So like do you think like what do you think about that like I just think that like what happens when that sex appeal runs out like they I can't even name half of like besides making a stallion like these big lottos and these other girls I can't even name their music but then a lot of these young people come back at me and say I'm hating because they basically built a brand and I can't knock that
Yes.
either.
Yes. Because now you're older. We're older. We're looking at it through a different lens. You're looking at it through a different lens and a different perspective. Um, like I said, we can talk. Look, Lil Kim had bars. Foxy Brown had bars.
Nicki
Even
Minaj
even
had
soft
bars.
Nicki Minaj had bars. Even soft Lil Eve had bars every
But
now and
Nicki
again.
Minaj, when she came out live, you ain't see her stand in
Yeah, you
front of a
did.
whole no, you ain't see her stand in front of a whole bunch of
That was
girls and just twerk the whole time and then
that
go
was
into her song. Nicki would rap.
that was before. Yeah, it's like how our parents looked at our generation. Exactly.
Oh, don't say
Different
I'm an
different
old
frame.
head like that.
You are a fucking old head. Accept it, and we can move on with life. Look, Nicki Minaj, before when she came out, remember when Nicki Minaj came out, she came out with Lil Wayne, she came out with Drake, she came out with a whole bunch of dudes. The moment she stepped away and did her, what's that song? Moment for Life. She started doing her pop stuff. It was the same thing. Everybody copied, everybody else. And they do the same thing that R&B singers did.
Man, all I'm
The
saying
female
is
R&B singers did.
if you look up like a
Female
big
R&B rappers
lotto,
did,
if you look up Big Lotto, formerly known as
right?
Mulatto, right?
Shout out to Lotto. I know
If you
I got a homie that raps with
okay, if you look at her and put her up there on YouTube or whatever and watch her performance,
her. Hmm.
in my opinion, it's more of a sex performance. Like not saying she's like doing anything degrading, but she's selling her appearance and the performance of the dance and the show. But I don't think her music is really sticking like that.
It's not sticking with you. It's sticking with somebody. All of them
All
do
right,
it.
man, you
All
taking the high
everybody
road
do
with
it.
me now,
Yeah,
man.
I'm taking the high road. You can't don't single one out when they all doing the same thing, bro. You got to let it be. It's like some music ain't for everybody. We not old, but the music ain't meant. You're not old, but the music ain't meant for us. Shout outs to Erica McCoy.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that
I
at
ain't mad
all.
at all. It's just it's a whole different music has changed in so many different ways, and even if you have to, um, women can't do shit without being criticized. That's a very true statement. You have to um, know that music now there's so much so much out there that you can find a lane that nobody knows about and just enjoy that lane and stick there.
But I kind of disagree with allowing, just because the young people are doing new types of hip hop, that doesn't mean you got to shit on the old form of hip hop either.
No,
And
ain't nobody shitting on that.
I don't think that's what their intentions are. But
Mm.
at the same time, it's like, you know, at some point you still got to have some type of like care for your craft though.
Brian, let me tell you. Look, it doesn't matter anymore. You have streaming now. If you want to go listen to high tech and Taleb Kweli all fucking day, or or some old common, you can listen to that, and nobody could
This
give two
motherfucker
shits
said
anymore.
old common.
Old common. Don't listen to that new shit. Listen to the old common. But all the male rapper do is sell idea of killing and drug dealing. Nobody says anything. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. It's what it is. It's what it
A
is. Either listen
long
to it or you
time
don't. Long
coming.
time coming. What's up,
What up,
Marcel? Shout
Marcel?
out to Marcel Love in the building, man. MarcelLove.com. London Royce. I had a shout out last week. Go get you some cricket wear from LondonRoyce.com, man. Cricket.
Yeah, that was hot. I remember that last week.
Yes, yes. But look, I'm waiting for the new Adele to drop.
I
You
don't
and
know why she ain't gonna be
you
on
and
her
three other
depressed.
black people I know.
She is not gonna be on her
I don't
depressed shit no more. She gonna be out there probably doing some lit shit because she living under up. She ain't gonna be singing the blues no more.
single. All right, so cancel culture
Are you ready?
activated. I am so ready. I'm beyond ready because I'm fresh off of watching this. Fresh off of watching this.
That's good. I
Okay,
let it marinate.
you let it marinate.
Yeah, and I think it
All
was
right.
good that you watched it fresh and that I let it marinate. I think that was
Mhm.
a good non-planned idea.
Yes. Now we are about to get into the closer. Dave Chappelle's final Netflix stand-up, The Closer. Now, if you found it offensive,
Put the text number up, please.
oh shit. If you found it offensive, just type yes. If you didn't, type no. If
Man,
you
fuck
found
that.
it
Don't
offensive,
type yes and type no. Text 301-857 1757 and tell us what the fuck you thought about the
Woo!
closer. God damn it!
Oh
Oh,
my
Eric, I wish
God,
you'd have
Eric.
watched it.
Oh man. Off the hook says Marcel. Love. No. Um, man, no. Savage says no. Man. What's funny
Mm.
is that let me say this because I'm fresh off watching it, right?
Go ahead,
For
K Dizzle. Break it
the
down.
only way,
Tell
oh,
Bianca what it is, please.
Netflix's it's Dave Chappelle's last Netflix series, his comedy stand-up. It's
His
called The
last
Closer.
special.
His last special on Netflix. Per the deal he
So
had.
before you go into where you about to go, because I know you about to pop it off, right? Pause. Let's give a
Right.
background of like the last couple of I would say situations or issues that Dave Chappelle's run into because of his content. It's been kind of controversial. He's been frequently over the past few specials kind of going hard on the trans and LGBT community. Not my opinion, but just a overall consensus. And this leads into his last special on Netflix. So it's kind of like his opportunity to really get paid and drop the mic. So go ahead, K Dizzle.
So um if you watch, I feel like those who were upset with watching this last one didn't finish the entire the entire set. There's
Okay.
no way that you could have been offended or upset, and he says it blatantly in the stand up. He says you are not listening to what I am saying. You're just hearing what you want to hear and taking those snippets and running with it.
But that's what everybody does whenever anything is
Yes.
spoken.
And one of the things that he did, he set this up very well from the beginning. He said, I'm going all the way. I'm going all in." He said that on numerous times. He made a lot of jokes that were controversial because he gives no fucks, which is why you watch him, because some of them are on the verge of that. It's good. Comedy is a space you can't be offended in. At the end of the day, you made the choice to watch it. That's what
Great,
Snell
great
says. I
comment.
Great comment. Um, if you're offended, if you're offended, you're offended. You have feelings and emotions behind it. I get it. I understand
But
it.
like Shanae says, you don't have to watch it.
You don't
And,
have to watch it.
and that's like the fine line that we're talking about, right? Before
Hmm.
you keep going, K Dizzle, it's like, okay, I have the right to change the channel. But
Hmm.
does he deserve the platform to make those comments to be, I guess, hurting that certain set of people that feel like they're offended? So go ahead.
Oh, you got people talking about they considering people are canceling their Netflix subscription. Netflix is thinking about pulling it. They ain't thinking about pulling shit.
A
For
lot of
one,
people
but
who've gotten bags from Netflix got the nerve to now all of a sudden spite Netflix. But go ahead.
for two, you cancel your Netflix subscription, you're coming back. You're coming back. All the good TV is on Netflix. I'm sorry to say, you can do that little. You can give up your little $20 right now for this month, but you'll be back and giving them their $250 a year. Period. Point blank. The guy explains everything that he says and why he says it in the entire damn stand up. He says, "Look, I don't have a problem with gay or trans people. I got a problem with white people." He said, "If you listen to what I'm saying, that's what I've been upset about all the time, the whole time." It says, um, his issue was, um, you know, white people go back to uh, being white people when it's convenient. They're in the
Mm.
struggle when they're in the struggle, but then they use their whiteness out of convenience to get out of the struggle. And there's a lot of truth in that. There's a hell of a lot of truth to that. And I think, like I said, with this, he used so many different examples. He did so many funny ass jokes to try to help you understand um, what his opinion was and why is it relevant and how it makes sense. That if you got offended, you really, one, wasn't listening, and two didn't finish the damn series. So
or three, it went over your head and you didn't understand where he was trying to come from. And see,
hmm
that's the thing when you're talking about a topic that is so gray, you know what I mean,
hmm
and not definitively black and white. Like, you know, it's hard for him to not really make those comments. And like some of the things he said, Kay, like he really did it in a very artistic way.
hmm
Even though he did joke hard, he pulled it back sometimes, and he was like you said, he said, "You're not listening to me."
hmm
Like he referred to himself in a cynical way of calling himself transphobic.
hmm
And he kind of said it like, I'm transphobic, right? And then
Yep.
he kept it moving. And it was almost like he said it in a way to leave it up for you at the end of the show to judge him and make that determination for yourself.
But see, right. But see, he said that, and then he gave a story. He gave a story. You have to really go watch it.
No, but I'm with
He
you. Go ahead. I'm,
he
I'm with
he,
you.
he said that, but then gave a story about one about
A
having a
personal
strong
friend
friendship, personal friend who was transphobic into some of the things that they
who was
worked through,
transsexual.
transsexual, and some of the things that they worked through, and how it helped him grow and in that space in that field. So
You know what I like, and here's where what I meant by he said things in certain ways that were artistic, right?
dude's a master.
Instead of him, and I'm not defending Dave Chappelle first and foremost, let that be clear. But instead of him saying, "Hey, I got trans friends," right?
hmm
Because that's the easy knee jerk reaction to
Correct.
you're homophobic. Oh, I got gay friends, or you're prejudiced. Oh, I got whatever friends. That's not the answer. So the way he, instead of saying I have trans friends, he told a personal story,
Right.
and I thought it was good because he told the story by what he experienced.
Right.
So it's up to you to make your own judgment or opinion based off how you feel after hearing the story that he told,
hmm
right? Because he didn't tell you in a way that he wanted you to feel a certain way. He didn't tell the story in a persuasive way. He told a story based off of what he experienced with his friend, right?
Yep.
So if you didn't watch it, Dave Chappelle basically spoke and said he had a trans friend who would appear at his shows. And
Oh,
this
you tell him no,
person,
don't do that. Let them go watch it. Let
you
them
don't want
go
to go
watch it.
into it?
No, no, let them go watch it because um the way that it's presented, he's such a master at his craft through the entire process, through the entire stand up. He's setting you up for certain things and telling certain jokes to keep you on and off pace. Keep you on and off pace. Um, and in the delivery, like I said, the delivery, he is one of the goats. He is one of the goats to ever do it. And I think he navigates this era and this time span masterfully, um, with being able to be truthful in his comedy and doing what the fuck he wants to do. And he made so many MLK jokes that probably his parents, his parents would be like, "Oh no, don't desecrate Martin Luther King's, not Luther King's history like that." But the
And he's
shit was
also and he's
hilarious.
also at the point of his career to where you got to think that if he's speaking with any purpose, it's gonna ruffle some feathers
100%,
because he's covered everything.
hundred
So when
percent.
you're 20, 30 years in the game, in comedy especially, like he's probably at a point to where like, look, this is like I said, my last special.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you how I feel from what I
He's
experienced. I'm gonna get this bag in the process, and I'm gonna roll the fuck out.
mm-hmm.
And I gotta give him kudos for that. I really appreciated the special. I thought that it definitely had some humor to it. I thought his wittiness and timing was impeccable as always. I think that his stance on trans is still for the opinion of everyone else because I'm not going to take a stance on it based off of how he feels. Because again, like Erica says, you can't cancel Dave, and I'm not here to cancel him, and I'm not here to kind of ride for him either because at the end of the day, I'm just gonna review his art and accept his art the way that I can. And I think
Yeah,
that he's been a phenomenal comedian. I think that The special, if you look at it from an unbiased perspective, was great. And it's not for me to sit here and say if he's transphobic or not.
Now we all went in. I went into this watching this with with a different mindset. He's been provocative, but like you said, but he's a genius. I went in with a different mindset because of all the controversy around it. The same way I went into what was Sticks and Stones, and
Hmm.
I think I used it in a promo. I used one of his clips from it, talking about the
You did.
African people. Um, but you go in with a particular mindset, and regardless of whatever mindset that you go in, because it's so well set up that you cannot keep that mindset. You just have to follow through and listen and pay attention to what he's doing. Um, will we ever see that type of um, that type of honesty and comedy ever again? That's the magic question. Will we as a society will we allow that type of honesty?
You know
Yeah.
what I think, Kay, to answer your question. I don't think it's a matter of will we see that type of honesty. I think it's just the timing of when these artists, you know, went through. Like Dave Chappelle has been a comedian through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2020s, and
Hmm.
beyond. So think about all the societal change that we've experienced through these years.
Hmm.
And I like to say that like people who have been like my age and your age, I think we've seen a lot in our time.
Hmm.
Will our kids see as much in their time that we did? Who's to say? But I think, you know, when you have a person like him speaking on all these types of societal changes, you're not going to speak, in a perfect sense. You're going to ruffle feathers.
Hmm.
You're going to have people blow the whistle. And who's to say, like, in the future, these new comedians coming out are going to have those type of battles? Because, in a way, a lot of these comedians now are paving the way, and a lot of these celebrities now are making it a lot easier for people to be themselves. And I'm starting to see comedians who are trans perform, different walks of life, different types of sexual orientation perform, and I think it's great. You know what I'm saying? To see all the different representation, I think that's what everybody wants too, man. Like
Hmm.
at the end of the day, everybody wants to see themselves in what they want to see. Like, not to sound redundant, but like you just want that representation. I want to know that I'm accepted in that space as well.
Well,
And
just
if and
not.
if I want to touch that space, I can go in and maneuver in that space and be equal as you. And I think that's what everybody really wants at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think most importantly, we just want comedy to continue to be that safe space to talk shit about everything, anything and everything, and not much being off limits. I think 80s and 90s, even some of the 2000s, where we were allowed to talk about the hard topics and make fun of those things without without being afraid of the cancel culture of people who don't agree with your jokes, trying to ruin your career. So it's one of those things where you just hope that's one of the only the dying areas where we're allowed to um, laugh together, share an experience, and talk about real issues, or just make crude humor. Like
But let's look at
Comedy
that.
Central used to have a roast. Remember the roast they used to do?
Yeah, so
They don't
let
do
me
that no
ask you
more.
that question. Do you think that level of comedy is going to be gone? Do you think
It's
that old school hardcore, like, because we're on stage with a microphone, I can say whatever I want and then get off stage and be good? Do you think that's gone now because of cancel culture?
somewhat. Somewhat. I think we're losing some of it. The only people that can do it and get away with it are those, the legends such as Dave Chappelle that can get away with it. Paul Mooney. Everybody just knew, Paul Mooney was Paul Mooney. He never switched it up. He never switched it up. One of the things Paul Mooney always used to say is what I say, nigga, 10 times in the morning, it keeps my teeth white. I was like, when I heard that, I said, oh, that's just the type of people that they are, and they have that ability. If you stay in that lane, that that they continue to be successful. Lisa Lampanelli, which was very crude and
Hardcore
crude,
roaster.
hardcore. No cut cars.
Self-deprecating too.
There's no who are the new people that are like that can come in and be funny and maintain a career without
Getting
being
canceled
canceled without being canceled,
is dangerous,
you know,
man.
being canceled on social media and online. So it's the tough thing to see. It's a tough thing to watch. Like I said, Dave is in no danger of anything happening to him because he's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do when he wants to do it. His stuff is funny, and if you can't deny that. If you deny that, then you're not facing some of the hard truths that that are there. You're not listening. Plain and simple, you're not listening. So, but look, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Like I said, he's making fun of the black people on Chappelle show. Everyone thought it was hilarious, but when we talk about it, this is exactly one of the things that he talks about. We talk about the LGBTQ community is the problem. Uh, they're new to the struggle, so everything that they experience is now, and it becomes a 5 alarm fire, and that's just what it is. It's hard to be. It's hard to crack jokes. It's hard to crack jokes nowadays,
But it's
unless they're
also,
dad jokes.
but it's
It's hard
also
to crack
like,
jokes.
you asked the question, like, what struggle was, the focal struggle, and what struggle right now seems to be, the one you don't want to fuck with. And I don't care who you are, it's definitely the LGBTQ trans community. You don't want to fuck with them. And if you agree with them or not, I don't think right now you want to be on a platform spewing all types of hate towards that community, because for one, I don't agree that it would be fair to do anyway. But at the
Hmm.
same time, you're getting canceled.
But you should. Here's the other part of it, and this is exactly what we talk about. When did they become the mafia bosses of social activism?
I don't think it matters. I think it's just the fact that they've got people in power, because I think that right now, the way that the society is, kind of forming, the majority of the people in power, some fit into this box, or they check that box. I think right now, those people that checked in that box, they're in that space. Some of those people in important places that have the ability to cancel you. And I'm not saying that the hate towards them or whatever people say is acceptable anyway. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Hmm.
the fact that anybody can get hated on, but not
Hmm.
everybody can cancel you.
Very true.
That's my point. So let's not sit here and get misconstrued. I can say F whoever. I can say fuck, whatever race, whatever types of gender, but everybody doesn't have the power to shut me down. But right now it's proven to the world that you
That's
play with that
that's that's
group, they shutting your ass the fuck down.
that's mafia. That's mafia talk right there. It's mafia talk, and
It is what
and,
it is. Take it how you want to.
and that sounds like
And
new
I'm not
slave.
and I'm not
That's that
hating. I'm
sound.
just
You
I'm
know
just
what?
telling you.
That sounds like new slave ownership to me. I don't care which. I don't care how you spin it. Exactly what it sounds like. New slave ownership. Before, when slaves couldn't talk about white people, now nobody can talk about LGBTQ community
But
people.
you can't look and see what a LGBTQ person is. Like, technically, you can't look and spot them. So what I'm saying is, they have the ability to have a large group of all types of people.
They are a large group. They're 25 of the 27 letters of the alphabet. And you can't fight if you only the outside too. You
See,
can't fight.
you not
You
Dave
can't fight it.
Chappelle. You get canceled.
No. Look, I'm not
Shit.
saying anything derogatory. I
Yeah.
am saying that it is kind of mafia-esque, or it is a cancer. It's toxic when you have one community jumping on a certain sector group of people just because they don't like what they said. That's no longer a movement. That's more so bullying than anything else. That's bullying. That's 21st century bullying.
It ain't chicken
So
if you got it. That's what I say.
stop the bullying, man. Just stop the
Hey,
bullying. Just be
Don't
be
fuck with
mindful.
us. Hey, if I got the power, if I can move you, don't. Hey, they out there on the block right now. I can't tell you what they are, who they are, but don't play with them.
Oh, I can't do it, man. Look, shout out to Dave Chappelle going out with a bang. He said it the whole time, and I listened very closely. He said, "I'm going all the way. I'm going all the way." So I knew it was going to be some shit. Um, it
But
was an hour long.
it's
In
also
45
low
minutes
hanging.
was about it.
It's low hanging fruit for people to just say, oh, he said this, so we gonna It's just easy, and
Mhm.
Dave can talk and be witty enough to talk his way out of that and say, he directed it this way, it meant this, and that's the thing. Like that's what art per se is, and comedy used to be known as a form of art, and now with cancel culture being so prevalent, I don't think it's going to be the same.
No, it hasn't been the same for a while. Has not been the same for a while. But
But
like
check
I
it
said,
out. Go see The Closer on Netflix before it gets pulled.
that shit ain't getting pulled, man. I don't know. Delusions of grandeur in that idea. But we just the point of the fact is, um, we need to cancel culture.
Mm.
Truth be told, we need to cancel culture. It's toxic. Uh, it's not how society should be run. You shouldn't be in fear of of saying the wrong
The
thing or doing the wrong
conversation.
thing or just basic conversation. You shouldn't have to live your life on the eggshells. You should be able to do what you say when you say it. And if somebody catches you doing it wrong, if you're being racist, you're being racist. Let somebody call you out on that. That does not mean that person has lived an entire life full of racism. Okay, you can do one bad thing, like John Gruden is a prime example. He can call somebody's lips look as big as two Michelin tires. That does not, even though it was a racist statement, like Mark said, that does not mean he is a racist person.
But you know what? In defense of the LGBTQ trans community as well, though, like I'm sure they can determine a person who's really being, you know, over the top, or a person who's just going down a slippery slope and not necessarily trying to say the wrong things. I don't think, or do you think that cancel culture is to the point to where if you just accidentally say something, you're gonna get canceled?
Yeah, if you accidentally say something, you're gonna get canceled. It's too toxic. It's too toxic. It's just way too toxic. If you do
Shit.
something wrong, yeah. If you do something wrong, you say the wrong thing, it's too toxic. They're gonna take it out of context. Somebody's going to use you to as their soapbox as to why the world is wrong and why we need to fix it. Period. Point blank. And we just need to cancel culture. Get out of that bullshit. If you're racist, then hey, you're racist. They're gonna use the power of the internet and just fuck your life up.
And see, that's what I
That's
was
just what it
saying.
is.
That's what I was saying, Erica. Like nowadays, you can't even have a challenging conversation without people cutting you off. Like you don't want to offend, though, but a challenging conversation doesn't have to be disrespectful. And I still hope that there can be platforms where you can have perspective opposition. And that's well said, Erica. Everything turns into an argument. It's okay to have opposing perspectives. Very true.
Yeah, this
Very
day
true.
and age does not allow space for opposing arguments and to end at that aspect. Um,
Or do people not have people lost the ability to have those type of conversations?
See, some people have because and the issue is universal. People are not listening to each other. We hear the same way we all read a text wrong. If you say somebody asks you a question, your girl sends you a text. It could be 5 miles long. It could be seven letters long, and you say okay, right? And depending on how long it takes you to type okay, she could be interpreted as what the fuck you mean okay? Just okay? That's all you had to say
Okay.
about what I just text? Okay, what do you mean by that? Th- That's exactly how this world is operated via social media and online. Is the interpretation of everything is always blown out of proportion. So we so sensitive, man. We got so many issues. We need so much psychological help. We need so much mental therapy in this world, because as we grow as humans and we have all this technology that we think brings us closer, we're more instantaneous with each other as far as communication, that it just throws us apart. The social interaction, the human physical interaction starts getting lesser and lesser. It messes up who we are physiologically as humans and how we grow with the social aspect of it.
Hey,
Online is I'm going a little deeper than what we need to.
you know what I was thinking about in my lifetime, just personally speaking, I've never seen a group of people rally together as quick as the LGBTQ trans community to have the ability to cancel. Like, out of all the groups that have been, I would say, suppressed or have shown hate in my lifetime, I never saw those groups be able to respond like this group. So that's fact for me, just in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what that signifies. You know, I
It
don't
just
know.
it's new. There, it's a newer struggle. It's a fresher struggle, and they use the tools that are given to them um, during
But
this
did they
time.
just figure it out? Like Dave Chappelle joked about the what was that movement? The who what's it called again? No, I'm not trying to be funny. The Me Too
The Me Too
movement.
movement. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he joked about that, and that was a very interesting perspective of how he spun the lack of follow through and the, I guess, big picture thinking that the Me Too movement lacked, because he kind of made jokes about how he agreed with them, but he didn't think that they did it the right way, which is why that movement may have failed. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like, you know, with this group, when it comes to forming together and really, shutting some shit down, I gotta give them credit. They
They
found a way to
the
do it
well
right.
versed in the internet, bro. Well
Yeah,
versed. Same way the Occupy Wall Street. Remember that shit?
yeah.
That was a great idea. Terrible execution. Terrible execution. But
Hmm.
it's one of those things where, if you know what you're doing, if you got online presence and you got time, and boy oh boy, motherfuckers got time. You get canceled. You just gotta be mindful of that. I don't like the mafia esque uh feel
Don't
to it.
matter if you like it or not.
It don't. You're
Don't fuck
absolutely
with
right.
them. You don't
Just
want
pay
that mafia. Don't
just
fuck with them.
pay the 5%. Keep rolling. Just pay my 5% for protection and keep rolling, man. Um, again, shout out to Dave Chappelle, man, the closer. Shout out to cancel culture being activated and being agitated. That it just makes for good conversation like this. Talk
Man,
about our
shout out to you and me for going over multiple topics in an hour and 8 minutes the way we did. I think we did
sweet
an
baby
excellent
Jesus.
job tonight, man.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I
We
think we
packed
did a
a shit ton
phenomenal
of
job.
shit.
We talked about a lot of shit tonight. I don't know if the chat's starting to be afraid to come on live with us because we haven't had a texter. But please don't forget it's 301-857-1757.
You know what? They be knee deep in that relationship stuff, boy. Woo! We need
Yeah,
to
they
get back
do.
into some saucy.
I saw my girl Bianca. She came through. She poked her head, and I think she rolled out. She was like, "Oh, they talking about that shit." Bianca was like, "Is hoes growing tonight?"
Is
Nah,
those
they ain't
going
growing.
tonight?
Nah, let me
The
get the fuck up out of
bitches. Where
here.
the bitches at? Where the
Right.
bitches?
Let me get the fuck up out of here.
But
I'll holler at them on episode 34.
tell them where they can find us at, man.
Hey man, we at All Dressed Up Podcast, Facebook.com/ADU Podcast, YouTube.com/ADU Podcast. Email us at, oh, that's the Spotify link. Email us at alldresseduppodcast@gmail.com. We still have a promo that's coming together. We've gotten more commercials. Still send us your videos. Listen to us on the go at Spotify. I don't want to hear that shit about, I missed you on Sunday night. I was cooking a chicken. It's okay. Listen to us driving to work Monday morning. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes.
That was fried chicken, baby.
You know
It's
what I'm
fried
saying?
chicken.
Just, pick an episode. It's laid
Pick
out
any
for you.
episode. Any episode. It's laid out.
But no, seriously, support us because we support you. We always promote our black businesses. Today we didn't have them, but next week we'll get back on the ball with that.
Shout out again, LondonRoyce.com. My man Marcel sliding through. Go get you some cricket gear, man. It's
Go get
dope.
you some cricket gear. Shout out to the Milani brand. I know I'll be rocking that shit. Shout out to Artistry by Maya. Get your eyebrow snatched back. I don't need that, but I'm gonna tell you that I have sent you. Go
And
see
look,
my man. Hold real quick. Go see my man Roll Cuts Fades at Laurel Town Center at InStyle. Don't just pop up because he won't be able to cut you.
he got the whole list. And look, we'll put the links to the tracks every week. We'll put the links to the tracks on our Facebook page. Make sure you can go check those out.
And the
sleeper
businesses.
tracks and the businesses, man. Once again, 33 in the books, man. We love y'all. We will see y'all next Sunday.
And you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know.